the question before the state government, before the security forces, indeed before the centre in New Delhi is this. Isn't the horrific image of little Insha, who cannot ever see again, that's what the doctors at the All India Medical Institute are saying, isn't that actually weakening the narrative of the state and in fact eroding its credibility and its authority? Isn't it completely counterproductive and eroding the authority, as even both the present Home Minister and the former Home Minister P. Chidambaram seem to agree? Let's take this question on pellet guns straight to the Director General of CRPF, Mr. Durga Prasad. Sir, when we look at these images of little Insha, whom we went back to visit at the All India Medical Institute, who's never going to be able to see again, when we look at the fact that you've actually told the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, and the numbers are pretty staggering, that since July 8th, your forces have used over 3,000 pellet cartridges, each cartridge made up of 450 iron balls that amounts to 1.3 million pellets. You know, I just want to understand from you why you think it's so important for your men to keep using these guns in the light of these horrible images.
Ma'am, I think the matter is right now before the Honorable Court, High Court. We have submitted our whatever pleadings we have before them, and when it is before the Honorable High Court, I don't think it's appropriate for me to make any further comments on this and leave it at that. So once the High Court makes an observation on them, then probably we'll go forward on that.
Fair enough, but you have already gone on record at great length earlier, Mr. Prasad, to say that while you do regret the injuries, you're not going to be emotional about them. You regret them, but you believe that they are necessary. And I want you to explain to our viewers, especially in the light of seeing Kashmiris being partially or permanently blinded, why you think these are the best available of several bad options.
I think I have gone sufficiently on record on this subject and said that whenever somebody gets injured, whatever be the reason in any action of the CRPF, we do feel bad about it. I mean, it's nothing strange about it. After all, it's not with the intent that we do this. When we have to control the situation, we do take action with the available resources we have. And if they in their this thing cause some injury to somebody, it is a matter of for which everybody feels that nobody feels good about that sort of a thing. So that is the present situation on that. And as far as the use of these various devices that we are using pellet guns, the gas grenades, we are using gas shells, we are using oleoresin grenades, we are using plastic pellets, we are using empty cartridges, everything, all of them. So each one has its only to contain the situation to the maximum extent possible. So whatever be the commander on the spot with the available resources he has got, he tries to contain the situation to the maximum extent possible. And so that's the type of action that's taken. But
Mr. Prasad, the fact is, and I've been reporting from the hospitals here for a long time, and again I say, when you look at Insha, when you look at how these images have become the lightning rod for rage in the valley, especially these blindings, the question is, the CRPF has told the court that pellet guns are an expected weapon of riot control. But the fact that they are actually taking away eyesight means that they are not in fact being fired below the waist. Now, to some extent, and you of course know this much more than me, who's a layperson, this has to do with the nature of the gun, because when it's fired, it actually throws a splattering of metal balls into the air, which means that even if it's fired below the waist, it can actually hit the eye. So doesn't that create a gigantic problem, the use of these guns?
You yourself said that the thousands of pellets and almost you read out numbers in lakhs, etc. And the number of injuries that you are speaking again are of hundreds. So I will not go further on this other than to say that when we fire the whatever these cartridges that we are using, if some of them go slightly above the waist level and if some of them go above the waist level and cause the damage, it is there. I mean, I can't say that every one of them, that when I fire at the feet also, some of them do travel upwards, because there is a dispersal, and the dispersal does take place, and it's impossible to control the dispersals from wherever firer is firing. it depends on the distance, it depends on the various other factors. So if some of them have gone up and caused the damage, then that's something that we'd like not to happen. Therefore, that is the reason. Otherwise, there should have been in millions, there would have been thousands people who have been injured in the eye. The very fact that the numbers are not that, the very fact that with the number of pellets fired and the pellet cartridges fired and the number of people injured indicates that the intention is never to hit above the waistline.
Well, Mr. Prasad, not to take away from the difficulty of your job, but close to 100 eye surgeries, and you think of children like Insha who may never see again, and I do hope that the forces are able to come up with a very different security protocol, because children being maimed and blinded and teenagers being maimed and blinded is not something that helps the state's narrative either. Thank you so much.